here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have one of the ex-Cranky Ducklings himself, near and dear to my heart. He was actually chilling in the chat last night when we were going over the TV Monday. We were going over the semifinals and the grand finals. Let's go. El Abogado himself for Infernales Esports. It is NeO, the Peruvian Terran. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Cure is coming in as the heavy favorite. NeO, he was letting me know that he hasn't competed in a tournament since 2023. It's been a couple of years here, but it's great to see him once again. For those that are curious, NeO, he was once a Cranky Duckling many years ago at this point. It's crazy to think about, but back in 2021, I want to say like 2020, 2021 kind of era of StarCraft. That was back when we started our pro team. That was back when we did have our Latin American roster. We had Ryu, we had Eric, and we had NeO as well. We had our trio. There's NeO, the Peruvian Terran player. La Tortuga, known for his mech, of course. We're most likely going to be seeing mech here, by the way. I should emphasize that as well. But NeO, of course, he did eventually focus on his studies. He did eventually focus on his law school, of course, and he graduated. He graduated a couple of months ago at this point, and yeah, now he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He finished law. I mean, I don't know if he's right now. His profession is a lawyer. I don't know if he's working in another kind of avenue or working his way up to that. But he did finish law school. Was there for quite a number of years. Now that I think about it again, he was actually starting or in the early years of law school back when he first joined the Ducklings, and now he has graduated. It's always amazing to see. And again, he hasn't competed in quite some time, so we'll see how he compares. See how he compares here to Cure. As for now, we're going to be opening up with a more aggressive build, a double gas into a delayed CC. Likewise, Cure doing the same. We have our Reaper Hellion on the way. Reactors now in production. So far, mirrored builds, and we'll see what that leads to. As we have NeO going Reactor Reaper Hellion, going to be doubling down and committing a little bit harder. Likewise, we do see a Cure going for the double add-ons here, so a very light commitment out of Cure, instead going for a faster starport. A 1-1-1 here by Cure. Meanwhile, Reapers, they do dip in, they get an SCV, they confirm and they scout the tech. They scout the add-ons. Cure does back off. He knows that there should be an overwhelming force early on, and Cure, he doesn't want to get caught out. So he races back home, he respects the Reaper Hellion, takes a stance here, defensively here, with his bio, with his tank. It's all the way back into the main. As NeO, he pokes in, he checks the saturation, 0 workers, as we already evacuated. So very clean response here by Cure. Does evacuate, does pull away, again respecting the build of his opponent. And with that, doesn't lose any SCVs. Doesn't lose any. NeO forced back home. From here, going into his own tech lab on that starport. Cyclone opener into Raven. I'm still waiting for the second and third factory. I'm waiting. I'm expecting it soon. Go. Now we are still building up our initial forces. Raven into the interference matrix. We have Cure instead going into reactored starports and reactored Viking production. And the goal here, as it typically is in TvT, is to gain air control. You gain air control, you gain control of the ground as well. Again, tanks, they can shoot further than they can see. That's why air control is so important, to maintain that vision, to zone away your opponent. And, ooh, that's a second starport. That's a 2-base all-in. So it's going to be a 2-port, 2-base all-in out of Cure. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've seen this, but it's also been a while since we've casted TvT. So, so I appreciate it. I feel like we casted TvT more often like last year, so it's been a while. There you go. Drop in towards the bases, within range of the production. Yeah, NeO out of position. Tank boys going off. Oh my god. Yeah, massive tank shots here on the bio. Deep under fire. And NeO's up against the wall here. He's trying to reposition. Marines moving forward. Two move forward. Oh my god, two Marines going to be going down. Dragging the army within range of the tank fire. We're trying to come in from behind, but the third tank has arrived. There's a disable, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, Cure, he breaks through the defensive line, breaks through the main army. Marines are dropping the tank. GG gets called before the Vikings come into play, and Cure, he will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, NeO, he wasn't quite able to get eyes on the move out. He wasn't able to get in position in time. With that, he was just pulled apart by those tanks. And again, it was a 2-base all-in at the Cure. Behind it, he was going into triple Viking production. The goal there is to, again, maintain map control and then go into his Liberator behind it to just overwhelm and to break through. Here we go. GG, well played. GG, well played. With that, Cure takes the lead. And now we're getting to game number 2. Yeah, he's saying that he's never gone up against that before. Which is it fair? Fair to say. As game 2 is going to be on, a much larger map, going to be loading into Starchild. Let's go. Loading into Starchild. Here we go. So we're getting into game number 2 here. And again, this is one of the new, I guess, this is one of the older TLMC maps. One of the older TLMC maps here in the map pool. And always a treat to see some of the more Northrux maps out here, whether it's Arrowhome, whether it's Starchild, whether it's Talisman as well. Do appreciate it. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Starchild, we have our South Korean Terran player leading the series 1-0, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player representing Finales Esports from Atlanta, Peru. It is NeO. As my eyes are on Cure, setting up for the proxy. Rax has been thrown down. Second SCV moves out as well. And if this is only a singular Rax, if the second worker is just a scout, nah, never mind. Okay, let's go. 2 Rax here, 2 Rax Reaper out of Cure. The goal to dive into the main base to overwhelm NeO to pull him apart. Let's see if he can. So hybrid aggression here out of Cure. What I was going to say is that welcome to Starchild. Starchild, one of the larger maps in the map pool, known for macro, known for longer games, and that can be where NeO can thrive, but never mind, as Cure, he is spicing it up here with the proxy 2 racks. Let's go. Likewise, NeO double gas opener into a faster factory. This is a good start for NeO. This tells me that he is going for a faster factory into faster Hellion production. Right now, the goal is NeO has to pull the boys. To defend against this, to survive, he has to pull the boys, he has to protect that Reaper, he has to buy time for the Hellion, and once the Hellion arrives, then he can hold. He scouts, he confirms, he gets eyes on the Raxes as well. Big moment here for NeO. He knows what's going on. He already has the wherewithal to pull those boys to prepare mentally for what's to come. So NeO, he is aware. First Reaper soon to arrive. NeO, yep, he does pre-pull the boys. And he's here to buy time. So far, this is the response you want to go for. And you have to buy time for that Hellion. Meanwhile, before that Hellion arrives, Curie can still try to pick NeO apart. Can dip into the main, can dip in towards the left-hand side. Oh! Oh my god. So far, force back. So far, NeO playing well. Is playing this out well. So the Reaper now does commit in, going for the Reaper. Oh, and NeO up. Oh my god, does pull away in time. More boys being pulled, Reapers are being targeted. Hellion is about to help though. And with the help of that Hellion, he should be able to hold on. Cure back at home, he's transitioning. Yeah, he's transitioning. He knows that most likely he cannot break NeO. And he's working on that next step. And NeO still has those 3 SCVs. He does pull back for now. Now built up towards a second Hellion. Oh. Okay, the charge goes off. NeO holds. He does hold. CC's on the way for NeO, CC on location for Cure. Again, Cure, he maintains map control. The problem here is that if NeO commits across the map, then Cure can just bypass the army and go back into the main. Like, right now NeO is stuck. He's stuck in the main base. He cannot move out. Not yet. Otherwise, he's vulnerable to these Reapers. Speaking of, you get in. Better concave for Cure. Takes down a Reaper. Gets an SCV and dips out. Yeah, no major commitments here. Cure pokes in, pokes out, gets a worker. Rotates towards left hand side. Has to respect the Cyclone. Reaper goes down. And NeO, he can and will make a game out of this. Oh. Reapers who dive in. Once again, getting shut down. NeO's holding. NeO's holding on. Getting a third CC behind this. Very greedy. Did he scout? He did. Ooh, Cure, he's aware. He sees a third CC. Cure, he has to make a choice. Does he also go for a third base himself, or do we commit into a 2-base all-in? Now, for the time being, I see a 1-1-1, Viking production, Liberator, tank on the way. Do we set up a second starport once again? That is an option. That is an option here for Cure. Similar to the previous game. As he is making Marines across the map. Building up his tank count. And, yep, as if on cue. Do you see what I see? I see a second starport. Second starport here at the Natural. It is a 2-base all-in. We saw something similar out of Cure last game in Game 1. So basically, Cure is going to be making 3 Vikings at a time. With triple Viking production, he will overwhelm whatever NeO has in the air. And then he go into Liberators. So he's moving out. Bit of an awkward engage. Yeah, tanks will siege for NeO. NeO, he's holding on. Oh, nice lock on as well. Takes out a tank. It does catch one tank. The other does survive, but so far a good start for NeO. Going for his own second starport. NeO, did he scout? He did not. But NeO is going for his own 2-base all-in. One way or another, the game is about to end. Or one way or another, both players are committing. Oh, right, of course, third CC. Yeah, so NeO is getting a second starport, but he has a third CC, so again, it's been quite greedy here. It's Cure that's trying to break his opponent. And Cure, he does have a Viking lead. With that Viking lead, he can try to hunt down those Ravens. As he's rotating over. Tank's already sieged. Yeah, the tank is set up. Despite that, Cure commits in, lands the Vikings. He's trying to brute force the issue. I don't think he can. Yet not into the siege line. NeO, he's holding. He's holding. He will clean this up. Oh, takes down one, takes down 2 tanks, takes down the Vikings. And mate, NeO is shutting this down. And Cure, remember, he's rallying everything he can across the map. He's trying to break NeO right now. He's down to 1 tank. Liberator has arrived. Vikings, oh, they commit in. Double water turrets. They focus down the tank. Another tank goes down. The problem though, because of the 2-base all-in from Cure, he has Viking. He has the Viking count. He has the air control. And he's bullying NeO. And you can see just the power of that air control of those Vikings. Takes down the Lib. More Vikings have arrived. Yeah, there's no answer. I mean, Liberator just has free reign. Takes down another tank. Takes down the Raven. Another tank falls. GG gets called. And Cure, the 2-base all-in, overwhelms despite the strong start out of NeO. GG. GG. Cure, he still overwhelms. GG, well played. GG, well played. Cure, he will take it. But a shout to NeO because he had his own strong moments in that game, catching out the tanks time and time again. The problem again is that unfortunately we saw the Viking advantage prove to be a little bit too great, and despite losing all those tanks, Cure, he still had too much to work with. He's still overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. Cure, he will claim the series, and we have our next matchup coming up ahead of us here. It's going to be another TvT between Cure and Nicorette. Let's go.